Welcome back. We were discussing the loss of large numbers, in particular for IID random variables. We said that the weak law of large numbers says that the sample average converges in probability to expectation of x, and similarly the strong law of large number says that the same sample average converges to expectation of x almost surely, right. So, these two results we will prove today. Okay. Strong law of large numbers we will not prove in full generality because it is a fairly long proof. We will prove it for with slightly more additional assumptions. Okay. So, first we will do the weak law of large numbers. So, if you remember, you have xi are IID random variables with expectation of x finite. Then we have to show. So, we have to show that this average converges to expectation of x in probability, right. So, there is actually let me do two proofs. Okay. So, one of them is a very simple proof which assumes finite variance. Okay. So, the theorem itself does not assume anything other than finite mean, right, but if you assume in addition that the variance is finite, the proof is very easy. Okay. Again, the theorem does not require finite variance, okay, but the proof is easy if you assume finite variance. So, partial proof. So, if you assume sigma x squared is finite, in this case it so turns out that you can prove mean square convergence very easily. Okay. So, in particular, so this is Sn over n, right. So, we have expectation of Sn over n is equal to expectation of x, right, because expectation of Sn is nothing but n times the expectation of x. So, this you will agree, right. So, what I am claiming is I will be able to prove the mean square convergence of Sn over n to expectation of x, and since mean square convergence implies convergence in probability, I will be done, right. So, you consider expectation of Sn over n minus expectation of x squared. Okay. So, I want to claim, so if I prove this limit goes to 0 as n tends to infinity, I would have proved mean square convergence, correct. Now, this is, so this is Sn over n minus expectation of Sn over n, right. So, this is nothing but the variance of Sn over n. This whole term is the variance of Sn over n because this is the expectation of Sn over n, right. So, this is equal to variance of Sn over n, right, which can be written as variance of Sn over what n squared, right. Now, what is variance of Sn? See, Sn is the sum of the first n xi's, right. Now, these are IID random variables. Since they are independent, you can add their variances to get the variance of Sn. So, the variance of Sn will be equal to n times the variance of xi, and which is assumed to be finite. Okay. So, this is equal to n times sigma x squared over n squared, correct. So, this n cancels. So, you get sigma x squared over n. Okay. So, this mean squared go as n becomes large goes down to 0 as 1 over n, correct, and so this goes to 0, right, which means that Sn over n converges to expectation of x in the mean squared sense, right, and then mean square convergence implies convergence in probability because of Chebyshev's inequality, then you will have convergence in probability. Okay. So, it is really a very simple proof, there are only 3-4 steps to it, right. If you assume finite variance, it is very simple. But that is just a partial proof, because this proof only works when the variance of xi is finite, right. You may have a situation where expectation of xi is finite, expectation of x is finite, but the variance is infinite, right, that is possible as we saw, right. Can you think of an example? So, you can think of a PDF or a PMF that goes down like 1 over x cubed, right, that will have finite mean and infinite variance. The law of large numbers does not demand that the variance be finite. So, this proof is not a complete proof. Okay. So, if you want to do a full proof, and full proof is also easy, but you have to invoke characteristic functions. Okay. So, what we will use is that we will prove that the characteristic function of Sn over n, the sequence of random variables Sn over n, converges to the characteristic function of this constant random variable. Okay. And then I would have proven it, because if I know that the sequence of characteristic function converges to a legitimate characteristic function, then I have convergence in distribution. Now, convergence in distribution is same as convergence in probability if the limit is a constant. So, I would have proved my result, right, that is what I will do now. So, consider the characteristic function of Sn over n. Okay. So, I am looking at expectation of e power I t Sn over n excuse me, right, this is what I am looking at. So, this I can write as the expectation of e power I t over n times Sn. Correct. Now, the reason I did that, I took the n to the t, is because now this looks like the characteristic function of Sn not evaluated at t, but evaluated at t over n, correct. No, but what is the characteristic function of Sn? See, Sn is the sum of these IID random variables. So, I can multiply the characteristic functions. So, it will be the nth power of the Cx of t, correct. So, that is fairly simple. So, this will work out to Cx of, what does it work out to? Cx of, it has to be evaluated at t over n, right, whole raised to n, correct. Fine. Next, since expectation of, so since expectation of x is finite, Cx of t admits the following expansion. So, you can write Cx of t as 1 plus I expectation of x times t, right, plus little o t, t squared I think, right, little o t or t squared, it is actually I think little o t is, as a matter of fact, it is order t squared terms, right, little o t, right. This is because if the kth moment is finite, you can expand till the kth moment and write a little o term. This is the property, the moment generating property of characteristic functions. Now, so they excellent. So, you can write this guy as thus expectation of e power I t Sn over n. So, the characteristic function of Sn over n is that guy. So, that looks like all this, right. So, 1 plus I expectation of x t over n, right. I am writing t over n instead of t, plus little o of t over n whole raised to n. Okay. Now, as n tends to infinity, what happens to this? So, this little o term looks like it goes to 0 faster than it goes to 0 like t squared or something, t square over n squared, right, the smaller terms. So, as n becomes large, this will become very insignificant, correct. So, for all practical purposes, this will look like 1 plus I expectation of x t over n whole raised to n, right. So, in the limit as n tends to infinity, what happens? This will become e power I. So, this is like 1 plus z over n whole to n, right, which is e power, which goes to e power z as n becomes large, correct. So, this will converge to e power I t expectation of x for all t, correct. So, this means that the characteristic function of the sample average as n becomes large, the characteristic function converges to, this is the characteristic function of the constant random variable. If you call this constant c, right, the constant random variable c has characteristic function e power I t c. So, this is the characteristic function of the constant random variable expectation of x, right. Now, view expectation of x as a number, not as a number, but a constant random variable, right. So, this will be the characteristic function of the constant random variable expectation of x, which means, so this implies S n over n converges to expectation of x in distribution. That is because we proved a theorem saying convergence of characteristic function to a valid characteristic function implies the convergence of distribution. But now the limit is a constant, right. Convergence in distribution to a constant is same as convergence in probability, right. So, this implies S n over n converges in probability to expectation of x. So, this looks like, so these terms are terms that are going to 0 faster than t over n. So, there is a t over n term, n is becoming big, right, and these terms are becoming very small, okay. And so, for all, so you can prove this, you can prove that you know that 1 plus z over n to the n goes to e power z, right, that you know for every complex z. Now, you have a little bit more, but that little bit more is very small. So, that does not affect this convergence, right. So, this as n tends to infinity, this characteristic function converges to e power I t x, okay. Any questions? So, here we have not assumed finite variance. The characteristic function proof is a fully general proof, correct. Are there any questions before we move to strong law? So, expectation of x is always a constant, but I am saying that the constant random variable taking value, let us say c, has characteristic function e power I t c, right. So, I am saying this is the characteristic function of the constant expectation of x, that is all, right. So, let us move on to the strong law of large numbers. Again xi's are IID, expectation of absolute x is less than infinity. You want to prove that Sn over n converges to expectation of x almost surely, right. So, the proof of the general proof of the strong law is quite long. Okay. So, what I will do, so just like here I did two proofs, right. One of them was a partial proof assuming something more, and then here is a completely general proof. So, for the strong law what I will do is I will give you two partial proofs and I will mention how it is extended. Okay. So, the first partial proof assumes that the fourth moment of xi's are finite. Okay. So, you assume a little more, right, not even finite variance, but finite fourth moments. Okay. So, it so happens that if you assume finite fourth moments of xi's are finite, then you have a very simple proof of strong law. Okay. It is a very elegant proof, it comes out very nicely, but of course fourth moment it is a fairly strong assumption, right, as assuming that fourth moment is finite. So, I will give you another partial proof that only assumes finite variance. It is a little bit longer, the second partial proof, we assume only finite variance, and then of course if you do not even assume finite variance you have to it is a fairly long proof. Actually the proof is there in Grimmett, it runs to about 3 pages or so. Okay. It is long but not horribly long, it is not 40 pages long, right, as some proofs can be. So, I will do two partial proofs.